Hello viewers, my name is Chase Clover, and this is my review on the June 11th, 2014 edition of USW Wednesday Night Intensity. This intensity was full of a lot of, attacks by ENIGMA, and ENIGMA was pretty much the main focal point in this edition of Intensity. So without further ado, let's start the review. So we open the show with the intro. They did something new where they had a recap from the previous week's episode, and then they put on afterwards they put on the intro and and so the commentators were talking, and before they could even announce the first match, they cut to ENIGMA attacking Mochigeta backstage, and he ends up hitting Mochigeta with a chair and then hitting him with a spear. So I'm unsure right now what at this moment at time. I'm not really sure what ENIGMA is trying to accomplish, but I can feel like this is him turning into a heel. So afterwards comes the first match on the night, and is for the Blue Belt Championship. I'm sorry, let me get back into this. The first match on the night was for the Blue Belt Championship, and James was defending the Blue Belt Championship against ENIGMA. And James ended up defeating ENIGMA, so he retained the Blue Belt Championship, still the Blue Belt Champion. And so this match was good for the most part. ENIGMA got hits in, James got hits in. James caught ENIGMA off guard and was able to pick up the victory. But afterwards, once James walked backstage, ENIGMA ran backstage and went to attack James. He then brought him out to the front of the place and then attacked him where the ring is. Took out a chair, hit him, and then got him with a spear. So that was after that. So ENIGMA went on a rampage throughout the entire night. And afterwards, you had an interview with Cannon, and you can just tell that there's going to be something involving Cannon tonight. So that went down. And after that was the second match of the night, and it was a Bulletproof Series match. Philip Akron defeats Gringo by submission. I have the Bulletproof Series leaderboard right here. I will talk to you about it after this review. Philip Akron got a lot of hits in. He got his strengths in. He got Gringo didn't get barely any offense in. Philip Akron pretty much took away the offense and just kept driving Gringo down to the canvas and just kept going on and on and on with that. Philip Akron ended up defeating Gringo by submission and earning 10 points in the Bulletproof Series. So I'm not surprised. I'll be right back. I'm not surprised that Philip Akron won. I would have expected it, but I wouldn't have expected Philip Akron to defeat Gringo by submission so early on in the match. I knew he was putting Gringo down to the canvas, and I knew he was trying to keep him down and wear him down, but I guess I would tell that everybody in the Bulletproof Series would want us to win by submission, because winning by submission gets you the most amount of points you can get if it's not a bonus point match. But afterwards, after the submission, he pretty much walked back, and then we went into the scene, but beforehand you saw Gringo getting up, kind of walking slowly backstage. So after that happened, it pretty much went to skyrocket up from there. Because afterwards, Alex walked up to Capitol and wished him good luck at the next pay-per-view, and told him that the match, he asked for the match to be a tables match. So at USW Hardcore Heaven 2014. Capital will defend the USW World Heavyweight Championship against Alex in a tables match. That should be a very good match. I am looking forward to watching the match, and I am not skeptical about it, but I would expect the match to go Capital's favor, but I can't give you my review or my preview or prediction video yet, because it is still early on, and apparently there have only been 2 matches officially announced for the card. So before I give you the review or the preview and prediction video, I have to wait a few more weeks, so that'll be coming out like in a few weeks. But anyways, back to the thing. After Alex, and Capital, they shook hands and they walked away. So that happened, and then they went to commercial. I'm sorry, I'll be right back. Okay. After that, they went to commercial, and afterwards came up the 3rd match of the night, and it was Rush. It was a Bulletproof Series match, and it was Rush defeating Greyhound by submission, earning Rush 10 points. So Greyhound is sitting in a favorable position, coming off a match against Rush and Dwayne Porter a few weeks back at USW Key and Case 2014. The problem here that I have with Greyhound is that now you're having him face Rush. Now, with the Bulletproof Series, I think they could try to script the matches a little bit better. Like, obviously they're not gonna, script who wins, but they can at least plan the matches ahead, I mean, Gringo now could face Rush because Fernandez is no longer in the Bulletproof Series, so he has no tag team to go, for. So he could start a rivalry with Rush. Greyhound, I hope, is in a rivalry with Dwayne Porter. Prophecy and Cannon are a tag team, which means the only 2 left are DHIG and Philip Akron. So they can have a tag team, and they can end up, facing off for the tag team championships and getting getting each other more points, and they're all sitting in a favorable position, I guess. But at the end of the day, you can't always have who you think is gonna win, win, and you can't always be right. And when you're not right, we do get upset. And I'll admit I get upset when, even though sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but I do get upset when USW doesn't, do things that I think would be better, because that would get them a lot more recognition and get them a lot more popular. But, I'll admit I get upset as well, but, there's nothing I can do about it. So, if I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just gonna stop this, before I go anymore. So, anyway, after that was a scene. It was Enigma attacking Cannon backstage. So, and Cannon faced up in the match that came up next. So then we went to commercial. Then we came back, and the 4th match on the night was a Bulletproof Series match. Excuse me. DHIG defeated Cannon by submission. Cannon, I believe it was his left shoulder, kept getting driven into the mat, into whatever. Excuse me. Cannon, DHIG targeted Cannon's shoulder, and I know Enigma had hurt Cannon's shoulder because of what had happened backstage, and so it wasn't surprising to me that he would be worn down, and it would have been easier for him to be injured and to get an injury. So with the HIG causing an injury to Cannon, it was expected, but I didn't expect the match to end as quickly as it did, because DHIG won by submission and got Cannon to tap out to shoulder press or whatever. So DHIG was able to win that way, but it kind of seemed lackluster because he just targeted the shoulder. Cannon wasn't able to get punches in unless he used his right hand or right arm, and so that's a big weakness you get when that occurs, and when you have an injury, it kind of slows down your performance. and it gives the other competitor more of an advantage because they know your weakness and they will target your weakness. Cannon, I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't have shown that he was injured, because I don't think there's a way to hide it. But if he really wanted to, I guess, kind of win, then he would have tried to hide it. It didn't look like it, so I think he was going to lose. I think he wanted to lose because I think he wanted to just get the match over with and try to get some help or some medical attention. And DHIG sadly just kept targeting his left shoulder, and I guess targeted to the point where it must have hurt, but I guess DHIG only targeted it till he thought that the arm was weak enough, and I guess the arm was pretty weak enough beforehand, so that was something that was a major problem for Cannon tonight. And so, I mean, I'm hoping that he's not injured, because then you have the Unified USW Tag Team Championships to worry about, and so even if he's off for like 3 months, if he's out till the end of the Bulletproof Series and a little bit farther, you're gonna need to vacate the Unified USW Tag Team Championships, because you need fighting champions. Like, if he were to be injured and stay out till, maybe late in the Bulletproof Series, he'd probably be eliminated by then. But if he were to stay in the Bulletproof Series for, or stay, and be injured, as long as he's still, the Bulletproof Series is still going on, then he, and also if Prophecy is still in the Bulletproof Series by that time that he returns, then, that's fine. But, I mean, that's only if he is injured, because it looked like it looked like a significant injury, and, I mean, I'm hoping it's not. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because that shoulder was targeted a lot, and Cannon showed that it was hurting him. It was pretty painful, and, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that would be painful for me as well, and I'm a pretty tough kind of person. I kind of take a shot to the face and, alright, yeah, sure, hit me again, and okay. But, having somebody in the Bulletproof Series, having somebody as a veteran in a Bulletproof Series, and having him injured, even if, he's out for the Bulletproof Series and comes back in while it's still going on, then still, you're losing a veteran. You're losing some of your star power, some of your merchandise sellings, some of your ticket sellings, some of whatever. And then what happens to his Bulletproof Series spot? Hopefully he's not going to be out, but if he is, then it wouldn't be surprising to me. So anyway, after that, Alex attacked George Martin for some reason. I don't know why. But, and then after that, came a commercial, and then came the 5th match of the night. Dwayne Porter defeated Prophecy by submission. I want to talk for a little while, just a little bit. I want to talk about Dwayne Porter's submission that he won by on Prophecy. The Kimura lock? Well, I think it was a more modified version of the Kimura lock, because he had Prophecy on top of him, but he had his I believe it's his right shoulder, and he had it in a Kimura lock position. It's like what Brock Lesnar used to break your arm. He had it in a Kimura lock position, and he had his legs kind of wrapped around Prophecy, so that way there was no escape and there was no way of crawling, because he doesn't have the legs, so he can't kind of crawl away. He doesn't have one of his arms. He has one arm, but he can't really do much with that one arm. And so, considering this is a real, wrestling organization, nothing is scripted, then you're gonna have USW give you fines and make you pay for this, and that goes on medical bill. And so, obviously he's not gonna go into the Kimura lock and break your arm, but he ended up going to the Kimura lock and just keeping it in there until Prophecy, submitted. And this match went on for a little bit, and it was a good match, not gonna lie. There was a Bulletproof Series match as well. So, I liked it. It was eye-catching, it was pleasing, and, Prophecy got his hits in. Dwayne Porter got his moves, and Dwayne Porter just ended up, getting Prophecy, better. So, kudos to Prophecy for hanging in there. Kudos for Dwayne Porter for winning. I'm hoping that that's Dwayne Porter's new finisher or something, like a new submission hold, and I hope it comes up with a cool name. That'd be funny. But anyway, that was that. It wasn't that kind of match where like, oh wow, sweet, cool, I wanna see this every single day. It was more of a match that, just kind of I'm sorry. It was more of a match that kind of just helped the viewers' interest in intensity, because if you have that kind of match on an intensity and you have somebody who watches it for the first time, then you have good I don't know how to say it, but you have a good chance of getting them to stay, because you have, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just gonna get off the subject before whatever. After that was an interview with Majigita scene. It was a scene. It was an interview with Majigita. Then was the sixth match. Western Light defeated Majigita. It was a good match. Not gonna lie, it was a very good match. It went on for a while. Majigita attempted to get the decapitator, I think two times or twice, and he hit it on the third try, but Western Light kicked out, and you knew at that point that Majigita was gonna have a very hard time with getting Western Light to stay down, because he had hit his finishing maneuver on him. So if he's gonna kick out of a finishing maneuver, then you gotta step up your game. So Western Light ended up getting Majigita for two. I don't know how to say it. He ended up hitting the lantern on Majigita twice, and got Majigita down for the pin. So Western Light defeated Majigita. After that was a scene, and it was Enigma attacking Alex. So throughout Alex's night, you had Alex wishing Capital good luck, Alex attacking George Martin, and then Alex getting attacked by Enigma, or Enigma attacking Alex. So I don't really know what to feel about this, but seems to me like once Enigma's revealed, then that person and Alex are gonna have a good rivalry. I think I have a few things that I could say in a Who is Enigma part, whatever video. So I'm gonna try to put that up. Maybe I may try. I can't be sure of it, but it could be interesting. So check that out if you want. But I'm not gonna tell you to. So anyway, after that was the seventh match of the night. I don't know who booked this. It felt like Vince Russo booked this, but it was Amor and Ash defeating Crimson Red and MC4. So the match ended with something that looked completely scripted. I felt like USW actually scripted this ending, not gonna lie, because it was somehow Ash. I think it was Ash who had Crimson Red up, and then he tried countering, but it was Ash who counted Crimson Red's attack, and Crimson Red ended up like hitting the ref right in the face, I don't know, with his head, and so then Ash and Crimson Red got into a submission lock or whatever. So, a chain reaction of events. Amor throws a steel chair in the ring to Ash. Ash goes to hit Crimson Red, but Crimson Red kicks the chair out of his hands. MC4 gets in the ring, picks up the chair. Ash thinks he's gonna be hit with the chair. He ducks down. Obviously, MC4's not gonna hit Ash, because 5 seconds later, he goes to make the move and whacks Crimson Red across the face with the chair, and then starts hitting him with the chair and does a few moves on Crimson Red with the chair. Then MC4 gets out of the ring, walks backstage, or walks to the ramp, stands at the ramp, watches the rest of the match. Ash gets the hook, gets like the Ash hook or something. Then pins Crimson Red. Amor picks up the referee. The referee counts to 3, and Amor and Ash win. I get it. Crimson Red and MC4 are in a rivalry. Now, I'm not going to say this is a new direction for USW because this is one thing where you're kind of scripting a storyline for this rivalry. And I'd enjoy it if this was, continuous, because if this were continuous, then considering Crimson Red and MC4 have a rivalry that's only held together by a championship, having a storyline makes it, improves it, and having a storyline kind of puts more interest into it. So if you're having a storyline with this, and I've been asking for this kind of thing for a few months now, or for a while now, if you're gonna start this as a storyline, then I want something to be done with it for the next week, and I want it to keep going on and so forth. So all in all, if this were the beginning of a storyline, then I'd be interested in this feud. But if you're doing this one time, then it's really no point in having this match anyway. I mean, why would you even have Amor and Ash team up? Amor is not doing the Bulletproof Series anymore because he's eliminated, and Ash hasn't been in the Bulletproof Series. He hasn't really done anything since breaking Anarchy's jaw in March, and so with this, I don't know how to put it, but with this kind of tag team defeating this tag team, it's kind of like a filler match. It felt like Vince Russo booked it. If you know who Vince Russo is, pretty much if you watch a match, anything on a pole match, whether it's a contract on a pole, championship on a pole, president on a pole match, it's a pole in the corner of the ring, on the turnbuckle, and somebody has to climb to get it. If you see that kind of match, it's Vince Russo's idea. I felt like Vince Russo booked this match. But if this is the beginning of a storyline, great. Keep doing stuff like this. At least you're having a storyline. I'm not going to say this is a new direction for USW. Instead of having filler matches, they have storylines, and they book it, and they pretty much script storylines for it to gain interest. That's when I'll start, talking about USW going in a new direction, and hopefully that they'll keep going in that new direction. But I'm not going to say anything until then. Excuse me. If that goes on, then this intensity will be a starting point to something that could lead USW in a new direction. So this intensity, if you saw it, then you may have been a part of USW history. So, with that being said, and that rant going on, I don't know what to think about this match. So, anyway, moving on. After that was a scene, and it was Enigma attacking Yo-Yo Joe. Afterwards, we had the 8th match of the night, the main event. Zach Hardy and Yo-Yo Joe defeat Capital and Alex. I get it. Champion and Challenger teaming with each other to face Champion and Challenger, because Zach Hardy and Yo-Yo Joe face at, the pay-per-view, and Capital and Alex face at the pay-per-view. So, not a bad match. I'll say it was good. It was actually very good. Yo-Yo Joe, though, did not get tagged in at all. Zach Hardy pretty much fought on a 2-on-1 handicap match, and won, so I'm gonna give him that. But there were points in the match where Zach Hardy was taken off the ring and onto the floor. I remember that it was a chain reaction of events. Alex took down Zach Hardy, and then Yo-Yo Joe took down Alex, and then Capital took down Yo-Yo Joe. Then Capital put Zach Hardy in the ring, and then, and all that. And then Zach Hardy threw Capital out of the ring, and then did a dive off or outside of the ring, and missed Capital, and ended up ramming himself right into the metal or wooden or steel grate of the entrance stage, and really looked like it hurt. So, with the countout starting, Zach Hardy, surprisingly enough, got back to his feet, I believe at the count of 6. Capital missed the clothesline or something, and then Zach Hardy picked him up and got a stomach pump on Capital, then got back in the ring. I think Alex went for an attack or something. Zach Hardy started getting fired up, and then he hit like a super kick, then a powerhouse clothesline, then a stomach pump, and then a Hardiac face plant, and then won the match. And afterwards, I believe it was Yo-Yo Joe who tried tacking himself in. I believe it before the Hardiac face plant, and then Zach Hardy. I believe it was I think he punched Yo-Yo Joe in the face and knocked Yo-Yo Joe off, kind of lackluster. Then he picked up Alex and got the Hardiac face plant, won the match. Zach Hardy got his hand raised, started, going to the corner and celebrating. And then Yo-Yo Joe got in the ring and got his hand raised. Then Yo-Yo Joe Zach Hardy put his hand out for Yo-Yo Joe to shake hands. Then Zach Hardy picked Yo-Yo Joe up and then got him Hardiac face plant. And then after that, Hardy started standing in the ring. Then, after that, Enigma appeared on the Titantron and said that Zach Hardy, Yo-Yo Joe, Capital, and Alex should look out. And afterwards, Zach Hardy walked to the entrance ramp, and that was the end of the show, the end of the intensity. It was a very good intensity, besides for that one match. I actually like this intensity. Intensity number 74, I believe. It was a very good intensity. That's what I can say. Hopefully it's the start of pointing USW in a new direction. But until it's really significant, I'm not going to say that they're headed in a new direction. But hopefully that direction will be reached within a few weeks, hopefully. They still have some time to go. Looks like it looks like it's leading up to Enigma being revealed at Hardcore Heaven. I would have waited till Bulletproof 7 or Color Greatness 10. But if they're gonna do it then I would expect whoever it is to go back to their persona. If the persona was remembered, to go back by Bulletproof 7 or Color Greatness 10. But it was that kind of show that kind of kicked off things and started putting some interest towards the next pay-per-view. So it was very good. I'm gonna give USW that. And real quick, I want to read the Bulletproof Series leaderboard. Already eliminated was in 11th place, Tom and Chris Ross with 0 points. 10th place, A. Moore with 0 points. 9, Fernandez with 10 points. Now, still in the Bulletproof Series, 8, Philip Akron, 24 points. 7, Dwayne Porter, 25 points. 6, Gringo, 29 points. 5, Cannon, 40 points. 4, Greyhound, 42 points. 3, Prophecy, 47 points. 2, Rush, 49 points. 1, DHIG, 57 points. So, yeah, that was it. So, that was my review on the June 11th, 2014 edition of USW Wednesday Night Intensity. Remember to like, favorite, and subscribe for more. I'm Chase Clover, signing off.